Hi, my name is Mike Dopud and I play Varro on SGA. When you first are introduced to Varro, he is a bad guy. And the challenge for me is to make this bad guy, somewhat likable. That he's not just the typical guy that's a killer.
He's not a guy playing a tough guy, he just is a tough guy. And, it helps that he's, former stuntman, so he can do the action, he can do the physical stuff really great. But yet, he's able to do it with this kind of humanity to him.
I wanted kind of a big kind of, I guess, imposing character, but also sort of a character who had charisma, who you could grow to like, and that was the whole idea, and I automatically thought of Mike, and he's been excellent.
At the beginning he comes off, he's obviously part of the team that takes over the Destiny, but he's always the one that's in the background, doesn't want to do it hardcore and militant. He wants to really work with the guys from SGU.
Colonel! I've nothing to say to you. We're here because I stood up for you! He would have killed you all!
As an actor, it's fantastic because Varro gets to be a badass, so to speak, but then he gets to have a love interest, and he gets to have great dialogue and situations with Colonel Young.
We took down Danik and gave you back control of this ship.
To save your own lives.
Ours weren't the only ones at risk. And if you remember, I stepped in and prevented the execution of all military personnel aboard Destiny, including you.
I really love that dynamic because you get to figure out who Varro is and where he comes from. And as an actor, there's nothing better. I get to go, I guess, through the whole spectrum of emotions, which is great. But I really think that the TJ relationship, you get to see some of his sensitive side, which I think is important because you start to feel for this guy. If he was just a bad guy, I think he'd be like, okay, whatever.
I know what Mike is capable of. I know sort of his on-screen persona, and all I really was relying on was some sort of chemistry between him and Elena, and that was there.
Settling in?
Yes. Nice quarters. Come in.
I was a fan of Stargate from day one. I remember actually auditioning for the very first episode of SG-1 and not getting it, but still doing some stunt work, playing a Jaffa on that first episode. And then to be able to do Atlantis, where I got to play a great character called Kirik, who was a runner.
Well, no kidding, when I read the script at first, I realized, okay, is this tracker revisited? I mean, I'm in leather, it's raining, and I'm shooting Stargate, so yeah, the similarities are there.
I'm thinking of putting in a line where he's talking to TJ and he talks about his past, and I want him to mention the fact that maybe, I've done it all. I was a bounty hunter. I was on the run for many years, and not actually say it, but it maybe suggests that.
And then when I read some of the scripts of SGU, I was like, oh, is there any way I could get on there?
For somebody that was, a guest star that really caught our attention in previous incarnations of the show, that we really, I know I have, always wanted to work with him again, and I know Joe and Paul and Brad and Rob felt the same way, so we cast him.
I didn't know how long this character arc would last. Really, for me, weekly, I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't know how long I'll be around. I keep waiting for the dreaded moment where I'll be killed off, so. But so far it hasn't happened, knock on wood.